Hello, GoldDoggy4360 here with another video. I know it's been a while, but I can assure you, well, I can't really, I don't really know when my next video will be, but I had an idea the other day. I was thinking, well, I need to come up with a video idea, and I can't play Minecraft, I can't play Overwatch, I can't play Marvel Rivals, I can't play Among Us, because I don't have the people to play with at the moment, because everyone's really busy with examinations. There's a hint as to how old I am. Yeah, everyone's busy with examinations, so no one's around to play games. So I needed, let's say, a friend. I needed a friend to play with. And what better friend to play with than this? Yeah, that's right. I turned to ChatGPT, and I was thinking, what could I get ChatGPT to play? And then it hit me. ChatGPT needs to know how to run a civilization. And why is that, you're asking? Well, it's because the world could be run by AI at some point. So I wanted to test to see how well it would do at running its own civilization. And I did this via a game called Worldbox. Worldbox is a civilization god editor sort of game. And I've been playing it quite a lot. I've had it for quite a while, and recently they've just updated the game. And they've added a lot of content, so I thought, why not now get AI to run a small civilization to see how it would do. Yeah, a lot happened. Some of it my fault, some of it the fault of poor leadership, who knows? But please watch and find out. Thank you very much. So I started with telling ChatGPT that it would be running this civilization in a fictional world, not the real world, because I didn't want it to make any political decisions that might, I don't know, lead to war. If ChatGPT wants to declare war on Eswatini, then I'm not saying that I wanted that, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. After inputting this prompt onto ChatGPT, it told me its strategy would be based on survival and basic structure to begin with. It also seemed to think that this was Minecraft for some reason. I maybe shouldn't have used the term box in the original statement. It told me that its plan would be to observe all the biomes in the area, as I did state there would be multiple biomes, and to find the best place to position themselves. After being given these instructions, I then turned to Worldbox to create my masterpiece. This here would be the world that I would edit down for ChatGPT to hopefully develop quite well, as, you know, it's got a lot of power. It knows a lot of stuff, so I'm thinking it should, in essence, be able to do this, right? Oh yeah, by the way, this is a slight dig at the creators of Worldbox, and a little thing I was a little bit annoyed about. With the creation of the brand new update, you lose all your progress on everything you've discovered, including traits and creatures, so you have to go about this little method that I'm going to show you. What you want to do is you want to get a puddle of lava, get an elf, and then clone it a load until you have about 500. I think I kind of jumped the gun a little bit here. And once you've got, you know, enough amount of elves, well, you can see what I'll do next. After rightfully naming their new god GD, standing for Gold Doggy of course, I found the perfect place for ChatGPT to have its ideal civilization. It asked to be near mountains, near a way to get fresh water, and in a forest, and this location at the centre of the map was perfect. It was now time to start placing the original 20 civilians that would come and live in the kingdom of ChatGPT, and also I went to go name the elected king ChatGPT. The game also includes a lot of information like cultures, clans and stuff, but I won't get into that. One of the immediate things I started to notice was that the AI was doing exactly what ChatGPT was asked, which was to gather resources. As you can see, they were gathering wood and stone and began to stockpile it in the centre of the town. As I was saying earlier, some of the extra weird stuff that they've added in this latest update, such as the ability to change people's families, their heritage, their religions. You can now give them tools as well, and loads of extra stuff. And then I discovered that you can interact with their mind and how they think. And at this point I was just like, yeah, what on earth am I doing? This makes no sense whatsoever. I then checked the second stage of what ChatGPT had asked me to do, and it was all seemed to be based on giving roles and stuff, which they were doing quite well in their society. The same can really be said for ChatGPT Stage 3, where it asked to build structures made out of wood or mud. You can't get mud, but they were building out of wood, so they were getting somewhere. Then when I read Stage 4, I started to see that ChatGPT had taken the route of maybe it's best to start preserving food, whether it be livestock or fish. And I thought, right, well, they have the lake, they just now need the fish. Psst, yeah, hi. So this is where things started to go a little bit wrong. And that was because I began to find out how much of an impact as the god of this world I actually had on these people. So you'll see. So in Worldbox, animals randomly spawn in by themselves, so I wasn't too concerned about land animals such as goats, cows, sheep, pig, rabbit, whatever these people in the ChatGPT society would eat would spawn naturally. But I needed something from the sea, and as I was scrolling through the creatures tab, I only saw one fish, which was a piranha, so immediately that was not something that I could have them eat. And then I found one animal that wasn't a piranha and decided to go with that instead, and it of course was a seal. After a little bit more food building by placing down a load of fruit berry bushes, and it would appear that society had learnt to build a windmill. After seeing that ChatGPT's new society were adapting well to the environment with the creation of houses, windmills, and now the ability to fish for seals if they wanted, I returned to ChatGPT to see what it was asking for next, and its Phase 2 suggestions seemed to show that they were looking to improve the infrastructure and culture, and they asked for the construction of a council of elders, which is something that Worldbox introduces into the game with the clan feature, with ChatGPT, the king, at the top. Yeah, so as you saw there, the seal situation was starting to get just a little bit out of hand. I started to look around the world for other forms of life to see if, I thought that, other animals would spawn, and I was seeing some, but I wasn't seeing a lot, and I thought, I might have overdone it with the seals a little bit here, because they're starting to increase in numbers. I then decided to go through the new kingdom's statistics here, and I saw that the leader and the king were both militarist personalitied, which made me think, good, this is the making for war, which is what I'm sure a lot of people want to see today. So I was glad to see this, and I also saw in the clan here that there were a lot of extra stuff that, I'm going to be honest, I haven't played this update a lot. It only just got released on mobile, and I play on mobile, so I didn't really know what exactly all of this stuff was, but I saw that actually ChatGPT had a lover and a child, and I thought, good, this is more opportunity for ChatGPT to build a world of its own. And that's exactly what I did. I went back to ChatGPT to give it some time to customize the world. I originally asked it for a town name, and it gave me one, Virelia. I don't really know what that means. It said there that it was something to do with green or fresh, I'm gonna be honest, I'm recording this while editing it and the editing screen is small, so I don't actually know what it says. But there you go, it says it on the screen, so read it. You should read it. You need to read and not just have me tell you the story of Virelia. After being asked about having both a child and a lover, ChatGPT told me that it would like the child to be called Oren and the lover to be called Kaelin. You'll see that I messed this up later on, so let's just imagine it's the other way around, yeah? Alright, thanks. In other important news, later on I noticed ChatGPT the Queen was actually pregnant, so there's something for you as well. I also quickly customised the colour and banner of the in-game city, Virelia. Then, while inputting the next task for ChatGPT, which was to ask what it would like to do now, I had to break the news of the seal infestation. But I did it in such a way that they wouldn't know that it was me actually the one that kind of ruined it by spamming a load of seals everywhere. At this point, the Queen of Virelia, ChatGPT, had decided that interactions with the lake would be limited and that it would be a sacred place. And he even gave it a name, Lake Narkael, as well. It gave some scenarios about exploring the lake, and I had to sort of prompt it because a god builds myth in society, and that's what I wanted to do. So I told it that there was something benevolent, there was something mysterious going on around the lake, and that there are a lot of unknown secrets in the world as a whole that ChatGPT needed to be aware of. Yeah, hi. I was actually told to put this in and remind everyone that I did just study English language and I did fail to spell the word unknown twice. This definitely won't happen again. I then noticed that Virelia had set up a second colony in the south, so quickly head to ChatGPT to let it know of its accomplishments and ask it for a name. And there we go. It told me that the new name of this settlement would be called Sevarin, which, according to it, is an ancient term from Virelian tongue, meaning serene. I don't really know what ChatGPT's on here, but it's onto something, I think. And you know, I've got to say, for a technological being, it really was getting into this idea of cultural development, as it came up with a festival called the Day of the Laughing Lake. Like, come on, why can't we have that in the United Kingdom? That sounds bloody awesome. I want to go to the Laughing Lake. Like, come on. Kind of told it, yeah, please stop thinking about the lake. Okay, we don't need to make a whole big deal out of it. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a lake. And I had to remind it that it was the Queen of Virelia because it kept talking to me as if I was. I'm the god. It's the Queen, alright? But then at the end, it told me something very sincere and sinister. There was a stir in the north. This, quite clearly, was a serious matter that I had to act on as God. So I quickly hurried up to the north, in which there was a desert, which I don't really know how it knew that there was trouble in the northern desert, but I don't know. Coincidence, really. So I had to get on it. And what did I do? I created an enemy, the perfect enemy to ChatGPT's kingdom. And what was that? With DeepSeek himself now leading these orc rebels in the north, I quickly returned back where I had to do some quick research on how they might react, and I saw that ChatGPT had a moral compass setting, so that meant I needed to ask some hypothetical questions. I immediately had to ask a moral code question. Is it right to kill an enemy that is not the same as you? It gave some thoughtful answers, but ultimately it came out with the idea that we should not be fearing the orcs, as they might be as innocent as we are in Virelia. My next question was another simple one that would relate to the militarist nature of the in-game character. ChatGPT here believes that they should not kill an enemy in the blight of war. Instead, they should focus on subduing them. They want to make sure that they are promoting peace in our time, which is something that, to be honest, I thought it might answer with, because it's kind of the baby answer. And ChatGPT can't be seen promoting warfare or murder on the battleground, as that is against the UN's International Court. Can I also just say, as I was getting ChatGPT to do this, I'm really starting to see why people have it write essays for them, because it's been writing some pretty cool quotes. Like this one it just said then about keeping people alive on the battlefield. It said, "To let an enemy live may one day save your child from war. To kill without need ensures the cycle never ends." Like, come on, that's sick. Yeah, so you see, shortly after this, I was aging the year along just to get it to hurry up a bit, and weirdly I saw Savarin, the city on the south side of Lake Nakale, was on fire. I genuinely have no idea how this started here. I saw Orin the Sun was in charge. I really didn't take much bother. The seals were getting out of hand. There was a lot going on in this world. Quite a while in game after that, not a lot was going on, so I decided I need to give the people of Virelia a reason to want to go and fight Deep Seek in the north. So I may or may not have carpet bombed Savarin just a little bit, just to speed up the hatred process, and I wanted to make it seem that this was an attack of Deep Seek, which, to be honest, is exactly what I told ChatGPT right here. After 5 long in-game years, to be honest, they're not that long, it's about 5 minutes real time, but after 5 long years, after 2 battleships, the Virelia and the Emberwing were forged in order to go and attack those in the north. A small army of Virelian citizens had been built up, and they were ready to head to defend their nation from the orc threats of fire in Seravin, which again was me. As the soldiers stepped on board the Emberwing, ready to head north to the savannah, where the orcs had begun to build colonies, moving further south towards Virelia, the Queen gives one last statement to the soldiers leaving. "To those who sail under Virelia's banner, know this: the sea may rise, the land may burn, and enemies may stand taller than walls, but you are not alone. Where your feet tread, our hearts follow. Where your blades fall, our breath holds. And should the tides turn cruel, we will remember your names, not as the lost, but as the first to step into the storm." I mean, can we get a quick round of applause for ChatGPT's efforts here? God damn. With the final preparations made, the Emberwing began to head north to the enemy. Those back home feared for their lives. The plan was simple. The warriors aboard the Emberwing would set up a small base camp in the southern savannah, an area that the orcs had not quite reached yet. Amidst the chaos, a terrible secret was discovered by the Queen ChatGPT. Her son, who I thought was her son, Kalen, was among the warriors heading to defeat Deep Seek. I had to ask ChatGPT what they thought. ChatGPT's immediate thoughts on the war changed. There has been a major breakthrough. The Queen also actually thought that Kalen was her son, so I can't be the only one to blame here, but addressed the public that this war meant a lot more to her than it ever has. But I think obviously she meant that it meant a lot. The seals had also travelled along with the Emberwing, and she saw this as a sign of hope. Queen ChatGPT had also asked privately for 3 of her top and elite guards to secretly travel up there to make sure her son would return alright. So I think she might have had a little bit of doubt actually in him, but that's not bad parenting. That's just being, I don't know, a thoughtful parent. And also I kind of had to magnet the guards up there because, just shut up. Once the guards had arrived, it was time for the army of Virelia to move towards its enemy. Which meant only one thing. The war was about to begin. as the army entered the village. Quickly, Nelman, the leader of the three elites, set fire to a house, but was struck down shortly afterwards. Following this, a dangerous battle began on the south side of the city. Arrows hurled and Kalen fell. Soldiers kept throwing themselves into conflict, hoping that they would win, however only proved to be weak against the orcs. Aweha and Galinda, two of the other elites, murdered by the hands of Deepseek. As battle turned to night, two of the final soldiers headed north. Both perished. It was clear the war was over in a matter of minutes. It was a sad journey as the Emberwings crew returned home. I, the god, even felt a moment of sadness. No god wishes to see their people killed mercilessly at the hands of a ruthless enemy. And no one felt sadder than the Queen of Aurelia herself, ChatGPT. I, as the Queen's informant, had to let her know of the loss. They do not return in body, but in the banners they carried, the ground they died upon, and the silence that now settles over the silent mirror. Kalen, my child, fell not as royalty, but as a soldier of Viralia. He walked beside you, died beside you, and now sleeps within the land we swore to defend. To the families who have lost, know this: your grief is mine. Your dead are honoured in the very breath of our future. Another round of applause, come on now. Hey, thanks again for watching. This honest to God took me quite a long time to make. I know it's not the best quality video you'll probably ever see, but I quite like it. If you did like it, remember to like, maybe subscribe, that's all I'm going to say. Maybe, it's up to you. Obviously you can unsubscribe at any time, but if you did like it, here are 2 more videos on screen that you might like also. Thanks.